Alright, hey y'all. I am back. This time is something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a client tutorial. So we went for like a Valentine's Day look. Very cute, very girly, very pink. Love it so much. So yeah, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know some more videos that you guys would like to see. And yeah, so right now I'm starting off with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. So her brows were a little bit complicated to do because one brow was higher than the other. So it just took me finessing. It took a little bit longer, but I was just finessing it and tweaking it and, getting it together. So it all came together at the end. So patience is definitely a virtue. So yeah, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe like I said. And I will be back for the next step. Okay, so to clean up her brows, I'm going to be taking an e.l.f. concealer in Light Warm. This is the one with the white cap, so I think that's the hydrating one. And then the brush that I'm using is the Morphe M224 brush. And then on top of her brows, I'm going to be taking her foundation shade, which I use the Maybelline Femme Foundation in the shade 330. So whenever I clean up my brows, I just take my time and then I always drag the concealer down so that it acts as an eyeshadow base for whenever I do the eyeshadow. So I don't really use eyeshadow bases. I just use concealer. And then, like I said, I use a foundation on the top of the brow. Okay, so I'm taking the same concealer that we used to conceal the brows, and I'm blending this out with a fluffy dome brush. This is a Morphe brush. I forgot the exact brush number, but any fluffy dome brush will work. You just want to take your time with this as well. You want to make sure that your base is as smooth as possible. So whenever you apply your eyeshadows, everything just blends seamlessly. So I'm applying my first shade. This is from the Bonita palette. I'll go ahead and enter that right now. It's that first pink shade on the top left-hand corner, I believe. I'm just packing this on with a Morphe M443 brush. And I'm just packing this at the bottom of her lid to build up that pigmentation. Okay, so now it's time to buff out that first shade. So I'm buffing this out with a pink from the James Charles palette. This is the pink from the bottom right corner. I'm using the same brush, and I'm just blending this in like windshield motions, and I'm also doing like small little circles as well. So I'm kind of going a little bit heavy handed because I want this to be dramatic. So as y'all can see, I'm just going to be building up this color. And I'm still using the same brush. Like I said, this is the Morphe M443 brush, so it's there. I like it a lot because it's very small and it gets into those creases and crevices. So yeah, I'm just going right on top of that first shade that we put down, and I'm just blending that out with a lighter pink. Okay, so then after that, I'm going to buff in a purple eyeshadow into the crease. This purple is from the James Charles palette as well. After that, I'm going to be taking the same concealer that we used, and I'm just going to buff this all into her eye shape or all around her crease as if we were doing a cut crease. This is just not as precise, and I'm applying this concealer with a fluffy brush. After that, I'm going to top the concealer with a white shimmer shade from the Festival palette by Juvia's Place. I just love this so much. And then after that, I'm going to top that with a actual loose pigment, and that pigment is Oh Boy by JLARUE Cosmetics. Now, the reason why I layered them is just because it's just going to add like depth and dimension to the eye, which we love. So yeah, I'm being very light-handed with this because I don't want it to pick up the concealer and it becomes patchy. After that, I'm going to line her I'm going to do her eyeliner. This is the NYX liner. I think it's the NYX Epic eyeliner in the shade Black. I love this eyeliner so much, y'all, because it's just so matte. Like, it's amazing. So okay, so now I'm going to clean up her liner. I'm going to be using the same concealer brush and her foundation shade to go ahead and get this line as crisp as possible and make it as sharp as possible. After that, I'm going to apply some rhinestones. I get the rhinestones from Amazon. And I'm going to be applying this with some lash glue. This is the lash glue I'm going to be using is the Eye Envy lash glue. And I'm going to apply it with the applicator that came in the kit for the rhinestones. And yeah, honestly, y'all, sometimes if I can't find my brush, I just use the back of a brush and I just apply it like that. So we apply 3 in the front, 3 on the brow bone. And it just gives like, I don't know, y'all. I just love it so much. It gives very much euphoria. That's what it gives. Okay, so her face was already clean with witch hazel. So after that, we're going to take some Clinique Moisture Surge Intense Moisturizer. And I'm going to put this all over her face with a Real Technique setting brush. After that, I'm going to apply the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I'm going to apply this all over her face as well. And I'm going to have her fan her face just so that primer becomes tacky. Now, I want to say her skin was normal to dry. So that's why we're using a hydrating primer and nothing too mattifying. Her foundation, I'm going to be mixing the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. It was in the shade 338, and I mixed that with the Milani 3-in-1 foundation, and that was the shade Warm Sand. So I'm just applying this all over her face with patting motions and really pushing that into her skin so we can get a nice flawless blend. Okay, so now that I have that foundation looking like skin, and that's the key, honey, skin. You got to make it look like skin, and it's flawless. After that, I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to lightly tap this all over her face just to get it as matte as possible. After that, I'm going to go ahead and cream contour. I am taking my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 360. I'm putting this on her forehead, both sides of her cheeks, both sides of her chin, and her nose. This is my favorite part of doing the makeup, y'all. I love to really snatch. So then, like I said, y'all, I'm putting this on the side of her nose, and we're gonna get this nose snatched, honey. This is gonna be a nose job, so just sit back, watch, and yeah. Oh, sorry. And for the concealer, I'm going to be using the Too Faced concealer, Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Honey. I'm going to be putting this underneath her eyes, forehead, down the bridge of her nose, cupid's bow, and chin. After that, I'm going to top that with a lighter concealer, well, a warmer concealer, and that's going to be the same concealer brand, which is a Too Faced Born This Way concealer, but that's going to be the shade Latte. So this shade is Honey. The other shade is going to be Latte. Okay, so after I get my little cell phone footage for Instagram, TikTok, and things like that, I go ahead and blend out my contour, and I'm blending this out with a Real Technique setting brush. And then the second brush I use, y'all, is just a brush that's just like it. It actually came in a set, and I'm just blending this together as well on both sides of the cheeks. I'm going to do the chin, and then eventually I'm going to do the nose. We're going to go ahead and blend out that concealer. We're going to be blending underneath the eyes, forehead, cupid's bow, and chin. So just take your time with this. And as y'all can see, I'm pinching my beauty blender just to get those creases and crevices. And it's just melting to the skin like butter. So just take your time with this, y'all. Okay, so it's time to set. So the first setting powder I'm going to be using is from my brand that I'm going to be releasing soon, PoshMade Cosmetics, so stay tuned for that. The second setting powder that I'm going to be using, which is going to be lighter, I'm going to be using this for the inner parts of her under eye, her cupid's bow, chin, forehead, and then down the bridge of her nose. So you always want to have your client look all the way up and have them stay looking up, because this is how you prevent creasing and lines underneath the eyes and stuff like that. So just have your client look all the way up. So now for contour, I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 360, so it matches that contour perfectly. And as y'all can see, like, look at the face. Look at the face, y'all. It's snatched, period. So I'm applying this with a Real Technique setting brush, just to, you know, carve out her face and give it that warmth. So this warmth that you guys are seeing, that is a mix of the Juvia's Place contour palette. That was the shade Deep. So it's the shade before the darkest one. It's like the Deep palette. And then after that, I'm taking another Juvia's Place palette. That's a Zulu palette. And I'm applying this to her cheeks as well. So, yes, it is. I just love it so much, y'all. It just looks so warm and snatched. So, I layered my bronzer, blush, and contour as well to help give it like that nice ombre look. And as y'all can see, the center parts of her face is snatched. Like, you want the center part of your client's face to be lighter than the rest. So now I'm taking a shimmer shade from the Warrior palette. I want to say it's the Warrior palette. Any shimmer shade will work, y'all, because I forgot what palette I use. But any shimmer shade will work to go ahead and put this down the tip of her nose and the bridge of her nose to help snatch it. After that, I'm taking a pink from the Pinks palette by Juvia's Place. If y'all can't tell already, I love Juvia's Place. Like, go get y'all some Juvia's Place because they're so affordable, but the products are so like bomb, and you can use it for more than one thing. Like, love it so much. So I just apply a little bit of that towards the bottom of her eye. After that, I'm going to wing out the front of her eye. So I just have my client look all the way up, y'all. If you have a client whose eyes water very fast, I would not recommend doing this because their eyes will water. So just take your time with this. Yeah, I just love it because it just gives like that nice, like, seductive look. Like, yes, who is she, girl? And she was going to a casting call, so I was like, yes, she got to stand out, honey. She cannot look like the rest of these girls. So yeah, we went ahead and got that liner popping, and it just looks so cute. So as y'all can see, look how focused I am, y'all. I'm holding my breath. I think she holding her breath too. We holding our breath, child. It's quiet. I was like, okay, cool. All right, y'all. So now I'm going to line her lips. This is just a regular $1 lip pencil from the beauty supply store, y'all. So I just don't see me ever paying $18 for no lip pencil. If you do, I'm not knocking it, but this is a regular lip pencil, child. And then the lipstick that I'm using is NYX Lingerie lipstick in the shade Embellishment. I went in with the gloss from PoshMade Cosmetics, coming soon. To put that on top to help ombre the two, which I just love it so much. It just gives it, I want to give her like that nice, like, pouty look. So I love this so much. And then after that, I'm just blending out the edges of that liner so it's not too harsh. So after that, this is how you prevent the flashback. I'm just going to dust off all this powder with a Real Technique setting brush. And the reason why I'm using this small brush is because it just gets those creases. So I don't want to use like nothing too big. Okay, so I'm just doing the finishing touches. Just taking some Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade 355. I'm putting this on the remainder of her face. I'm also going to take my foundation brush to help melt all those powders together. I'm going to add some highlighter, some mascara, and I'm going to spray her face down with the MAC Fix Plus setting spray. And that is all, y'all. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and let me know what other tutorials you guys would like to see. Bye. Love y'all.